Hello student, today again I am going to start chapter 2nd. Topic is Indian economy. This is part 7. In this video we are going to discuss about small scale industry, foreign trade, import substitution and critical appraisal of industrial development. Okay, and in this way this chapter is going to be over. So let us start with the small scale industry. So what is the meaning of a small scale industry? If any industry is having a investment worth 5 crore in today, that is considered as a small scale industry. Until the 1950, if the investment is worth 5 lakh, then it is considered as a small scale industry. Okay, so what is written here? So in India, the official definition of a small scale industry has changed from time to time. The definition of a small scale industry is based upon the maximum fixed investment allowed in a unit. In 1950, the small scale industry was defined as industrial unit with a maximum fixed investment of rupees 5 lakh. At a present, maximum fixed investment allowed for a small scale industry is rupees 5 crore. So this is important. Till 1950, in 1950, if there is investment of 5 lakh, then it is considered as a small scale industry. If investment today, if investment is worth 5 crore, then it is considered as a small scale industry. Now, importance of small scale industry. So for the rural development, small scale industry were very important. In industrial policy, we in the yesterday we had learned about the industrial resolution, industrial policy resolution, industrial policy resolution, okay, 1956. So in that we had learned that there are three fold classification of industry. Okay, and then we learn about that key schedule in threefold classification. Schedule A is related to 17 industry totally owned by the government. In Schedule B, there are 12 industry owned by the government, but there will be supplementary role given to private sector. And Schedule C was related to left industry, but these industry that is included in Schedule C, they are controlled by the Industrial Act 1951. Industrial Act 1951. So it is related to what? It is related to license system, in which if you want to set up your industry, if you want to expand your industry, or if you want to diversification in your industry, you require license. License means written permission from the government. So in the yesterday we had learned about these things. So this is related to policies that is adopted by the Indian government for the betterment of industrial sector. Now the second topic, the second policy that is adopted by the government is improvement of encouragement or to encourage development of small scale industry. So here we are going to learn about the importance of small scale industry. So it is very important line, student. Carve. In 1955, the Village and Small Scale Industry Committee, that is known as a Carve Committee, stated for the rural development, small scale industry are very very important. So remember that what is the name of Carve Committee? Village Small Scale Industry Committee. And when it was established in 1955, so which committee has recommended, which committee has given more importance to small scale industry? Carve Committee or the Village and Small Scale Committee, when it was established in 1955. Okay, so how small scale industry were important for the development of rural area? First of all, small scale industries were based upon labor intensive technique. The small scale industry uses labor intensive technique. Okay, whenever any industry is going to use labor intensive technique, so there will be more employment generation. So in this way it is helpful of rural development. Okay, student, labor intensive means more use of manpower and less use of machinery. So small scale industry is related to manufacturing of agarbatti, dairy farm, it is related to leather bags, shoe making, purse making, okay, cloths, ready-made cloths, okay, decorative item, handicraft items, okay. So in these items there are more people are used in embroidery, जैसे चिकन कारी कढ़ाई लखनऊ का फेमस है. So these are the example of small scale industry. So in these industry we are going to use more people, and in this way there will be more job opportunity, okay. So it is helpful in employment generation, okay. Second thing, it is helpful in personal equality. It is helpful in personal equality, okay. It helpful, it encourages equality in distribution of income. How? Because for establishment of a small scale industry there are less requirement of money, less money is required. So anyone can establish a small scale industry. So in this way it is helpful in personal equality, okay student. Now the third is it is helpful in regional balance or regional equality. How? We can establish a small scale industry anywhere. We can establish a small scale industry anywhere, any area, in any area. Why? Because it require whatever raw material, it is easily available in local market. Means if you want to open a factory that is going to manufacture shirt or manufacture decorative items, so whatever raw material you require, that you can get from local market. So in this way small scale industry can open in any area. So in this way it is helpful in regional balance or in regional equality, okay student. So that is the importance of a small scale industry. It is based upon labor intensive technique, so it is helpful in employment generation. It helpful in redistribution of national wealth or personal equality. Anyone can open because it require less money. फिर it can be open, small scale industry can be open in any area. So in this way it is helpful in regional equality or regional balance. Now what important points related to small scale industry? The most important point, it helpful in it is helpful in employment generation, okay. Now for encouragement, there are going to establish more and more small scale industry. So there is need for protection from big farmers. So for that government take two steps, okay. First is reservation of product. So government in during 1950 to 99 some products are reserved that it is only going to be produced in small scale industry. तो कुछ प्रोडक्ट क्या थे, केवल और केवल कहाँ प्रोड्यूस हो सकते थे, स्मॉल स्केल इंडस्ट्री में, ओके. द सेकेंड स्टेप, वेरियस कंसेशन. सो इफ यू वांट टू ओपन ए स्मॉल स्केल इंडस्ट्री, so you can get loan at very low interest rate, okay. Second thing, very less excise duty, means tax are imposed, okay. Less tax are imposed on a small scale industry, so that people are encouraged to open a small scale industry, and there will be more job opportunity, there will be more personal equality, there will be more regional equality, okay student. Now in this way industrial sector, the topic industrial sector and related policy has over. So industrial sector, we had learned about two things. For the betterment of industrial sector, for the development of industrial sector, government has taken majorly two things. First, Indian policy resolution 1956 and Industrial Act 1951, and third, small scale industry. With the help of these three things, the government tried a lot for the development of industrial sector, okay student. Now we are going to talk about foreign trade. So before the arrival of Britishers, we are self-reliant, okay student, and we are importer of finished good. We are importer of finished good, and in return we get what? Gold and silver. coins. Okay student, and because of that we are known as a golden bird, or we are known as a sink of gold. ठीक, this is the condition before the arrival of Britishers. But when there is British rule, this condition has totally changed. Now during the British rule, India become exporter of raw material to England and importer of finished British good. Okay, and because of this condition, our there are too much exploitation of our natural resources and our Indian people. Okay, so now when we become self reliant, when we gained independence, so we change our policies, and because of that our trading partner in international market has increased. Today India is having leading partner US, UAE and China. Okay, so during the British rule, which country is having which country is having monopoly control on our foreign trade? British. We are doing 50% trade with the Britain. Okay, and that time we are just exporter of raw material and importer of British finished good. But when we gained our independence, condition has changed, and our leading partner has changed. Now USA, UAE and China are our leading partner, and our direction and volume of trade also has changed. Okay, now so which policy we adopted from 1950 to 99, we are going to learn here. Okay, for betterment of foreign trade, so we had, Indian government had adopted the policy of import substitution. That is also known as a inward looking trade strategy. Okay, why we adopted import looking strategy? For self reliant in most of the sector. Okay, so we what is starting 7 5 year plan were devoted for import substitution. Our starting 7 5 year plan are related to import substitution. Remember, this question is asked this time in board examination. So starting 7 5 year plans are related to encouragement of import substitution. Import substitutions, another name is inward looking trade strategy. So I think 2 questions are now clear. First, starting 7 5 year plan are related to which policy? Import substitution policy. Okay, and why we adopted the policy of import substitution? For self reliant in vital sector. Okay, now meaning of import substitution. So import substitution refers to a policy of replacement or substitution of import by domestic product. In very simple language, when we use domestic goods in place of foreign good, when we started to use Indian goods, domestic goods in place of foreign goods, this is known as an import substitution. The import substitution is related to more use of domestic good in place of foreign good. Okay, and why we adopted this policy? So that we become self reliant, we become आत्मनिर्भर. हम आत्मनिर्भर बनने के लिए इस पॉलिसी को हमने अडॉप्ट किया था. ओके, और इस पॉलिसी में क्या था? जितने भी गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज हम खुद प्रोड्यूस कर सकते हैं हम उसे करेंगे, और जिसे हम प्रोड्यूस नहीं कर सकते केवल उसी को हम परचेस करेंगे या इम्पोर्ट करेंगे. सो दिस इज़ योर import substitution. Okay student, okay, so for example, instead of importing vehicle from made in foreign country, domestic industries would be encouraged to produce them in India. And because of that, Ambassador, at that time most of the people are using Ambassador, Bajaj scooter, okay, and TV is Beltex TV or Onida TV. Okay, there are very less foreign goods and services. Okay, most of the people are using Indian product. Okay, Indian consumer product. Capital goods, remember it, capital goods we are not able to produce that time. Okay, so we are importing mostly capital goods from outside, but all type of consumer good we are trying to produce own self. Okay, now the basic aim of policy was to protect domestic industry from competition. तो मेन एम क्या था? अपनी इंडस्ट्रीज़ को प्रोटेक्ट करना, क्योंकि हमारी इंडस्ट्री किस स्टेज पे थी, इन्फेंट स्टेज पे थी। जैसे इन्फेंट मीन्स बच्चा, छोटे बच्चे बिना प्रोटेक्शन के नहीं सरवाइव कर सकते। तो सेम वे हम हम फ्री हुए थे, हमने नई नई इंडस्ट्रीज़ ओपन की थी, तो ऑब्वियसली ये नई इंडस्ट्री फॉरेन इंडस्ट्री से कॉम्पिटिट नहीं कर सकती थी। तो फॉर दैट गवर्नमेंट एडॉप्टेड द पॉलिसी ऑफ इम्पोर्ट सब्सटीट्यूशन, सो दैट इंडियन कंट्री कैन सर्वाइव, they can survive here, okay, and they can establish. Okay, now two objective that is related to import substitution. First is saving of foreign exchange, second achieving self reliance. So दो objective क्या थे, first is saving of foreign exchange, second is achieving self reliance. We want to self dependent, we want to produce all type of goods and services in own country itself. Only we are going to purchase those goods that we cannot purchase here, like capital good, like machine and equipment. Okay, now how we adopted, yeah, which how we had done import substitution. So for import substitution, for giving opportunity to Indian industry so they can establish it and they can develop it, okay, and people is only going to purchase Indian product. To ensure it, government uses two things, tariff and quota. केवल इंडियंस लोग इंडियन प्रोडक्ट खरीदें, ओके, और ईजिली इंडियन इंडस्ट्री डेवलप हो सके, ओके, इसके लिए गवर्नमेंट adopted two things, tariff and quota. What is tariff? Tariff is related to import quota, import tax. Tariff is related to what? Tariff is related to import tax, that is levied on imported goods. What is reason for importing tariff? So a high import tax are imposed on imported good. Why? So that it become more expensive and Indian people is not going to purchase it. For that, high import taxes on imposed on foreign goods. Now quota, what is quota? Quota means quantity, number of item, yeah, amount of item that foreign country can sell here in our country, that is also fixed by the government. So this is known as a quota. So what is quota? Quota refers to fixing the maximum limit of imports of a commodity by a domestic product. So in this quota, the policy of quota, government is going to fix the amount or the number of the unit a foreign company can sell here. So in this way, it is again helpful to protect Indian industry. So with the example I am going to explain. Suppose here is Indian television, here is foreign television, okay. Now India is able to produce one television with 5,000 rupees, okay, and foreign are able to produce TV on at the price of 3,000 rupees. So foreign TV, its price is 3,000, Indian TV, its price is 5,000, okay. Now suppose there is no tariff, no quota, so Indian people is going to purchase which TV? Foreign TV, okay. But because of tariff, government suppose impose the tariff for 3,000, so now price become of foreign TV 6,000, okay. And number, how many TV you can sell, it is also fixed by the government. You could only sell 100 TV here, okay. So now it become too much expensive, and there is limited availability of foreign TV. So in this way, Indian people were encouraged to purchase Indian TV. So this is your tariff and quota, okay. What are the reason behind it? So there are two things. Pehla, the policy of protection, okay, is based on the notion that industries of developing country like India are not in the position to compete against the goods produced by more developed economies. So with the protection, they will able to compete in due to course of time. So why protection is given to developing country in India? Because अभी हमने न्यू इंडस्ट्रीज़ इस्टेब्लिश किया था, और डेवलप कंट्री वो एक लॉन्ग टाइम से 200-300 ईयर्स से वो प्रोडक्शन कर रहे थे, तो ऑब्वियसली देयर क्वालिटी एंड क्वांटिटी एंड प्राइस इज़ गोइंग टू बी मोर बेटर इन कंपेयर टू अस. So obviously our Indian industry is not in the condition to compete with the foreign industries. So that is why import substitution policy was adopted to protect Indian industry, because they are at the level of infant. वो कौन से स्टेज पे थे? इन्फेंट स्टेज पे थे. ठीक है, स्टार्टिंग एज स्टेज में ऑब्वियसली प्रोटेक्शन इज रिक्वायर्ड. जैसे छोटा बच्चा, इफ़ यू आर नॉट गोइंग टू प्रोटेक्ट kid, it is not able to not possible for infant to survive. Okay, the same way for infant state it is required that government is going to protect it so that it can survive. Okay, now second thing, restriction of on import are necessary. There was a risk of drain of foreign exchange reserve on the imported of luxury good. So suppose, जैसे मैंने अभी एग्जांपल लिया था, अगर कोटा और टैरिफ नहीं होता तो people is going to purchase foreign TV. So in this way our money is used by whatever money we are going to earn, foreign money, whatever we are going to have, that is expended on the purchase of luxurious item. So for that also, for save foreign exchange and to give protection to our infant industry, import substitution was adopted. Okay, now the whole chapter has over. You had learned about the agriculture sector, you had learned about the industrial sector, you had learned about the foreign trade. In the foreign trade, it is only related to import substitution. Import substitution, we are going to produce Indian goods and we are going to use Indian good, okay, in place of foreign good. That is import substitution. Okay, now critical appraisal means what we have achieved, these policy that we had adopted in agriculture sector, in industrial sector and in foreign sector, that we are going to discuss here, and in this way this chapter is going to be over. So let us start. So critical appraisal of industrial development during 1950 to 99. The first is that the proportion of GDP means the contribution in GDP of industrial sector increased from 11.8 to 24.6. So that is a good achievement. Okay, so contribution of industrial sector has increased from 11.8 to 24.6. So this is the first achievement. Second, industrial industry was no longer restricted to cotton and jute. Initially I had told you na, industrial sector is only related to what? Cotton and jute in British period, but today during the 1950 to 99 there are variety of industries. We are able to produce electronic item, all type of consumer goods. So in this way there are diversification of industries. Okay, now third, the promotion of small scale industry give employment generation. So this is the third achievement. Okay, next is protection from foreign competition enables indigenous industry in the area of electronic and automobile sector. So because of import substitution policy, there are too much development of electronic and automobile sector. Okay, now लेकिन there are two drawback of this import substitution. First is because of import substitution strategy we are failed to develop a strong export sector. देखिए हमारा एम क्या था उस टाइम? एम इज़ ओनली दैट कि we are going to produce all goods and services and we are not thinking about to sell it outside. We don't think about export promotion. So this is the drawback of our policy that is adopted in that duration. Okay, second drawback is lack of competition. So because of protection there is no foreign companies, foreign product, Indian are only purchasing Indian products. So Indian industry they don't do any effort for the betterment of quality, for low price, and they become lazy. And because they know there is no competition, people are only having Indian goods and they have to purchase it. So that is the drawback of this system. okay, to no sincere effort to improve the quality of their product. This is the drawback of this policy. Now, licensing policy. So, licensing policy means Industrial Act 1951. So, in this act, if you want to establish, if you want to expense, or if you want to diversify, you require written permission for the government. So, in because of this license system, there is very controlled development, there is very controlled development of private sector, means there is a very less role of private sector, less development of private sector because of this license policy. Okay, so there is monitor and control industrial production. Okay, so इसका demerit क्या है? Misuse. It was misused by the industrial houses. Big industry would get license and they don't give opportunity to new firm to come out. Okay, so this is the drawback of license policy. Next, time consuming. For getting the license, written permission, it take a lot of procedure, paperwork, so it takes lot of times, and that is why people don't interested to open industry. Okay, there is a very less opportunity for the new entrepreneur, new business houses. Only big houses, big farm houses, big business houses, they take permission and they diversify, they expand, they establish. In this way, this is the drawback of licensing policy. Now, public sector, I had told you now who is giving leading role. Public sector is giving leading role. Okay, and public sector, they are producing, means government sector producing not only capital goods or a large scale industry good, but they are also running the hotel also. So because of that, there are inefficient development of public sector. Suppose if you are compelled to study commerce also, bio also, math also, physics also, chemistry also, so what happened? You are not able to pass in any subject. So that is the condition of public sector. They are doing every minor to major work, and because of that their efficiency is going to deteriorate, they are going to lose their efficiency. So this is the drawback of giving leading role to public sector. Okay, now conclusion. So at the end of this chapter, the progress of Indian economy in three sectors is this. In agriculture sector, we get self-reliant, self-dependency in the production of food grain with the help of the green revolution, with the help of the HYV technology. Okay, and there is abolition of zamindari system. These are the two reasons, but the backward technology and zamindari system, there is stagnation in agriculture sector. So for outdated technology, we adopted green revolution, and there is abolition of zamindari system, and result is that we become self-reliant in production of food grain. And before adoption of the green revolution, we are importing wheat from which country? America. Okay, so that was the condition, but now we become self-reliant in the production of food grain. Okay, in industrial sector, so there are more type of industries, so there is diversification of industries. Okay, but there are excessive government regulations, so because of there is less development of private sector, so many economists were dissatisfied with the performance of public sector because they are doing minor to major work. Obviously their efficiency is going to be decreased. Okay, now trading sector, yeah, foreign trade. So inward looking strategy failed to develop strong export sector. We tried a lot to become self-reliant in all the sector, but we are not able to do. And whatever goods we are able to produce, we are not having any aim to sell it outside to earn foreign money. So that is a drawback of import looking strategy. Okay, we never try to gain foreign exchange with doing trade. Okay, next is because of too much protection against the foreign competition, there is no incentive to improve quality of goods. So Indian people, they know there is no competition, so they are producing the goods in the same way, they are having high price. So in this way there is exploitation of consumers. They are not having the choice, they are not having quality but they are expensing lot of money. So that is the drawback of import looking strategy. Okay, so the need of for the reform of economic policy was widely felt in the context of changing global economy scenario, and because of these demerit we adopted new economic policy in July 1991, that is known as a globalization, that is known as a LPG, liberalization, privatization and globalization. That is your next chapter. So in this way this chapter has over. At the first chapter, in the first chapter we learn about what is the condition of agriculture sector, industrial sector and foreign trade on the eve of independence. In the second chapter we had learned what are the policy adopted by the government for the betterment, for the improvement. And in industrial we had learned about green revolution, abolition of zamindari system, because its positive result is that we become self reliant. In industrial sector we adopted Industrial Policy Resolution 1956 and Industrial Act 1951, license system, and too much importance is given a small scale industry. Okay, and in foreign trade we adopted the policy of import substitution. So what is drawback of industrial sector? Less development of private sector and inefficiency of public sector. They become the place of corruption. Okay, and because of that they are known as a social dead weight. Okay, and import substitution, its drawback is that there is no competitors, so Indian traders have not doing anything for the improvement of the quality. They don't think about to decrease the price. There is no competition. They are enjoying monopoly control on the market. Okay, and there is no export promotion, so we are having very less foreign exchange in our hand. So these are the demerit. Because of that we are compelled to adopt new economic policy, that is known as a liberalization, privatization and globalization. Okay student, thank you.